Hi guys, welcome back to another video, first video in a long time, coming from a new space, which is really cool. And this is kind of my little studio space that I'm hanging out in and teaching guitar lessons from and doing all that really cool stuff from. So I'm very lucky to have this space now. It's a bit echoey, as you can hear. I'm going to put soundproofing, or sorry, not soundproofing, but acoustic foam and things like that up on the walls actually after I film this video. So today marks the return of the mini pedal board series that I haven't done in a long time, mostly because the mini pedal board actually started to turn into a pretty big pedal board. So I'm going back to our roots, mini pedals only, really small board, and we'll go from there. So I've got a selection of mini pedals to go through, as you can see. There's a few mainstays that are going to be on the board regardless, and there's quite a few pedals I've got to shoot out as well. I've ordered a Rockboard Duo 2.1 from Manny's Music, you can see here. That's going to be the mini pedal board for now, and that's hopefully going to stick and be the final mini pedal board. I might swap the pedals around, but the pedal board itself is going to stay that from now on, I think. So there are a few sales on mini pedals and stuff over our most recent lockdown here in Victoria, Australia. Hence why my hair's a mess. I haven't had a haircut in a few months. So I'm looking forward to that on Friday. So let's go through the pedals that we've got here to shoot out. Let's go through the mainstays first. So the first one, which is already on this kind of demo board here, is the Hotone Boost Tuner. Now, it's a really awesome, very useful, handy pedal. Really small, as you can see. Tunes, it's not the most accurate or the fastest tuner in the world, but it does the job. And it's also got a clean boost with this knob up here. So that's 100% going on the board, because if I can knock out a tuner and a boost in one, why would I not use that? So I'm gonna stick this on the demo board here. Where are we? There we go. That's gonna go at the end of my chain just for now. The other mainstays, Nuex, Monterey Vibe. Great Univibe, tap tempo on the Univibe sound. You can also hold the foot switch down, it goes to a vibrato setting. One of my favorite pedals of all time. I love Univibe. I don't have a pedal board that doesn't have Univibe on it, so the Nux Monterey Vibe is 100% going on. Again, like the tuner, kind of a 2-in-1, Univibe and vibrato with tap tempo. You really can't go wrong, especially for the price on that one. This was part of one of those sales that I was talking about. If you're in Australia, you might have seen Donna pedals. Had a bunch of pedals for sale for $10, which is a bit insane. That's 10 Australian dollars. I don't know what that is overseas, but it's pretty damn cheap. So I got a bunch of those. This is the Donna Tutti Love Chorus. I do like Chorus quite a lot. Again, I probably don't have a pedal board that doesn't have a chorus. My favorite chorus is the Boss CH1. This is a Boss CE3 type thing. So that'll probably go on unless it's really terrible. The Musky Spring Reverb. I just want a bit of reverb on the end in case I'm using an amp that doesn't have reverb. So this is a pretty good sounding, just basic spring reverb pedal. Easy to use. Yeah, great. And another sale item, the Donna Yellow Fold Analog Delay. Plenty of good reviews out there. A lot of people like this. Again, $10, great deal. You can't go wrong with a bit of delay. I'm not actually a huge fan of analog delay. Much prefer tape sounds and digital sounds, but for $10, you can't go wrong. Okay, let's get into what we're shooting out. Some of the bits and pieces and pedals that we're going to shoot out, I guess. Let's start with the kind of preamp section of the board. I always love to have a preamp. So I've got two here to shoot out. One is the Donna Ultimates Comp. Again, $10 pedal that I got on sale. Great deal. I love that it's got just a compression level and the tone control. I really love a tone control on a compressor pedal because it kind of knocks out compression and preamp in one for me. So looking forward to trying that out and shooting it out against the Musky B-Box preamp, which is a exotic BB preamp clone. It's my favorite preamp overdrive pedal of all time. I've got a BB Plus on one of my other boards. Really amazing pedal. So shoot that out with the compressor, see which one I like more as a kind of compressor preamp type thing. All right, let's jump over to filters and stuff like that. Oh, first one here that's sticking to my carpet because it's got Velcro on it is the Artist Wire Machine, which is an envelope filter. I love auto wires and envelope filters. Or no, not really auto wires, mainly the envelope filters because it's got the sensitivity thing going. Really small, about the same size as the Hotone tuner. It's really good. I had it on a board for a while. I had it on my previous mini board actually, or one of them. It's a really cool sounding pedal, so that's a good shout to be near the front of the board. Unless the Donna Dynamic Wah, which is the other Donna pedal, or the last Donna pedal I got for $10, kind of beats it out. It's got the same controls, it's a bit bigger, it's a really nice kind of sparkly purple, so that might beat it out, we'll see. Tom's Line Octopus Polyphonic Octave, that might go on as a kind of filter octave thing just for a unique different sound. Doesn't track amazing, but you know, it's good enough. It's good enough for sure. Mua Funky Monkey, which I got in like a bundle. I bought a bundle of pedals to get one pedal because it was a good deal and this was part of it. Now this is a traditional auto wah where you kind of set the rate of the wah. It does kind of sound cool, this one in particular, as kind of a fake, kind of univibe tremolo sort of sound. Joyo, what is this? The classic wah, Joyo classic wah, slash volume actually. So this is a great sounding wah pedal, as well as a volume pedal, which is very handy. This is probably almost definitely going to be on the board, unless there's not enough room. All right, the last two sections we've got to look at are kind of the drives, fuzzes, distortions. Let's look at the fuzzes first, because that's going to be the most fun. All right, if we can pick it up from the Velcro. Dunlop Fuzz Face Mini, this is the Germanium one. It's not a Jimi Hendrix one or anything, just a standard red Germanium fuzz face. Sounds pretty cool, rolls off really nicely, especially on strats. Is an awkward shape still, even though it's mini, so we'll see about that one. Musky Fuzz Face, this is kind of the same thing as the Jim Dunlop Germanium Fuzz Face, but this is silicon instead of germanium, so a bit more gain, a bit more open sounding. So it'll be interesting between this one and the Jim Dunlop Fuzz Face. See which one we like more. Although I'm willing to take a punt that I'm gonna like this the most. This is a Kink Petals Charlie Fuzz. I've done a video on Kink pedals before, Australian made here in Melbourne. This is a limited edition gold one, based on, I think it's based on a one knob color sound fuzz type thing, but I'm looking forward to trying that and we'll see how it stands up with the rest of the fuzzes. And lastly, we've got our drives. Actually, this is not meant to be there. Tube Screamer Mini, Ibanez Tube Screamer Mini, definitely going on the board, so that's going in the definitely section. Musky Black Rat, I've had one of these before, sold it to my bass play in my band Open Skies. Unusable unless the filter's all the way up on guitar, basically. This is a Donna Morpher Distortion. This is an old one when they were using the old rounded off cases, which kind of looked much cheaper and much worse, I think, than the cases they're using now. That's why I repainted it. I call this the Redback Distortion because it kind of looks like a redback spider. So this is based on, the Donna Morpher is based on the Sir Riot distortion pedal, so it's kind of a hot rodded plexi, JCM, Marshall-y vibe. Last drive pedal in the mix is this, which is another Musky pedal that I repainted in a really nice surf green. This is a Timmy clone. I think it's called the TW or the TM. So you've got internal pots for bass, treble and volume, and then you've got the gain pot on top. That actually wasn't the last, I just realized. This is the Mua Blues Crab, which is probably the one that's going to go on. I do love a blues breaker type overdrive sound. This is a great one, as well as, like I said before, the B-Box preamp. Okay, so here's the first shootout. We've got the Donna Ultimate Comp and the BB-Box preamp. I'm just playing my telly through a Wang's little 5H amp, I think it's called. That sounds like this. And that's not mic'd up or anything, that's just camera audio. When we do the final assembly of the pedal board, I'll mic that up and do that properly so you can hear what the pedals sound like that make it to the board a bit better. Let's start with the compressor. think that's the setting for me. That sounds really nice and transparent. I'm not a big fan of it down in the treble setting, this switch. We'll keep it in the normal setting for now. Yeah, I like those settings. Let's see how it sounds compared to this. So we've got volume, bass, treble, gain. There's a notch in the bass and treble, which is cool. Let's start with the gain and volume down a bit. There we go. Obviously a fundamental issue there with this Musky pedal. Not sure how the other Musky pedals are going to sit. This one clearly is extremely faulty. I guess by default, this is probably the winner, hey? The only thing I will try is I'll switch patch cables just to see. Let's put that on mute. Let's see how that goes. Maybe it was the patch cable. No, not the patch cable. That's all right. So by default, we have our winner, the Donna Ultimate Comp, which I'm very happy with. It sounded great anyway. Okay, now we've got the Tom's Line Octopus, the Artist Wah Machine, which I'll leave open, Donna Dynamic Wah, and the Mua Funky Monkey. Let's start with this because I think this is the least likely. If I was going to use it, it would be with both an up and down octave. But anyway, let's move on. Yes, I really love envelope filters because it just makes you play a whole different way. Obviously, they're very dynamic, very inspiring to play, and yeah, really like this one a lot. Let's see how it compares to the Donna Dynamic Wah. So we'll put everything at 12 o'clock. Cool, a lot more open at 12 o'clock. Let's... This one's really sensitive. I do think this one wins, which is a shame because this one looks really cool in this purple sparkle. But if I'm going to go a wah, I think this one's just a bit too sensitive, to be honest, so it's going to be this one. Let's try the Funky Monkey, just for the sake of it. So it kind of does a cool like throbbing EQ thing. I guess that's what a wah is. It's kind of cool. I do think I'm going to go with the artist wah machine though. So really hoping to like this for $10. I'm not mad it's not going on the board, but yeah, this one, it's just got the mojo. So artist wah machine, that's going in. All right, should be the most fun, this one. Who doesn't love fuzz? Let's, I'm most familiar with this, so let's start with this. This is usually how I use it. Volume and fuzz all the way up. Let's change it. Let's bring it in. So. Yeah, tons of fun, that one. We ended up in my settings, volume and fuzz all the way up. Let's just listen to it backed off a bit. Really excited to try this Kink Charlie fuzz, so let's see how we go. Let's bring it down. That is this, man. All right, let's see how it compares to this then. Oh, once I plug it into power. I'm hoping there's a volume pot inside because it's not at unity gain, and I still prefer this one. This is really cool for some gated kind of vintage fuzzy. Really cool for that. Definitely, I'll definitely use it in another application. I think for this board though, yeah, we're going with this 100%. So the winner, by no surprises really, the Kink Charlie Fuzz. All right, let's move on. All right, so just off camera, I opened this up to bring it up to unity gain just to see how it sounded. I know why they don't put the volume on the front of the pedal, because even all the way up, it's still not unity gain. So it's a very cool sounding pedal. It sounded better. It got close to unity gain, but yeah, not really usable. in that sense, but this one's going on anyway, so it doesn't matter. All right, we've got some drives and distortions here. The tube screamer is going to go in front of whatever ends up on the board. The other thing is I'll also have our, there you go, our tuner in front of these pedals, so we can get kind of a higher gain version of whatever pedal we decide to use. So let's start with, well, let's go with least likely in my mind to most likely. So as much as I love rats, I think we're going to start with this. This is actually sounding much better than my last experience with the Musky Black Rat. I don't know, maybe they changed some of the internals, but this is sounding really cool. Versatile sounds in there. Impressed me much more than I thought it would, especially considering my last experience with this pedal. So let's move on. Let's try our Timmy. Sounds fine. I definitely prefer it in the lower gain. Let's go to this first, this next then. Our Donna Morpher Distortion. Which has no power. Wow, that's much better sounding than I remember. This has got a lot to beat now, I think. I'm just going to tune up quickly and we'll keep going. All right, Moor Blues Crab. It's just so organic and it's inspiring to play. This sounded good. This was a letdown a bit. That sounded way better than I remember. This wins. The only caveat is I might every now and then swap this with a distortion, so one of these two. But I know this sounds killer with a tube screamer. I've got the tuner pedal to give it more gain if I need be, and the tube screamer. So yeah, Moor Blues Crab the winner there. So there we go, there's our shootout done. We've got the pedals ready to go on the board when it arrives in the mail. So I'll do another video putting it all together. So some standouts for me, the Artist Wah machine, forever sounding really, really cool in such a small package. The Kink Charlie Fuzz, everything I was hoping for. What else surprised me? This surprised me as well. Donna Ultimate Comp, really classic, easy to use pedal. If I didn't already have a Keeley compressor on my main board, this would probably be the compressor, to be honest. Let's go through some letdowns. The Musky Timmy pedal just wasn't what I was hoping it would be. I think in the world of transparent overdrives, you've got your Timmy and you've got your BB preamp. As I said at the start of this video, I'm a fan of the BB preamp. I think I was just looking for that sound in this and I couldn't find it. Speaking of the BB box, or the B box, which was horrendously broken. So yeah, very disappointing. We'll never know what that sounds like. Musky Fuzz Face, all three disappointments so far have been Musky, unfortunately for them. They do make some good pedals, but they are kind of the cheapest out there in terms of MIDI pedals, really. This one sounded amazing, but the volume wasn't at unity gain, so there's that. And the Donna, what's this called? The Dynamic Wah, just a bit too sensitive, even on the lowest sensitivity settings, so hence why we went with the Artist Wah. Alright, so thank you for watching and joining me in this maybe long, potentially short video running through all these pedals. Please leave a like and subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment below on what mini pedals I might have missed that you would recommend going on the board. And I'll catch you guys in the next video, which will probably be this board being put together. So I'll see you guys then. Cheers.